All right, all right. It is 12:34, and you are tuned into Heart Connections with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, right here on kinetichifi.com. Remember, this is Heart Talk, time for Heart Talk, the talk portion of our show. This is when we restore our minds and renew our hearts. This is Testimony Tuesday, and we've been talking about testimonies. We've been talking about guarding our heart. Well, we're about to talk about guarding our hearts. I just talked to you in the last segment about your testimony. And in the first segment, we talked about location. It's all together, it's all building up on us guarding our hearts, guarding our hearts. A part of guarding our hearts involves guarding our minds. I told you this segment of Heart Talk, we were going to talk about guarding our hearts. We talked about that last night on Heart Talk. And this segment is brought to you by my new book, Help Save Me from My Broken Heart, Your Journey to Living and Loving Again. And you can pre-order your copy at theheartconnections.com. I found an article that's entitled 10 Habits of Mentally Strong People. And we're going to talk about guarding our hearts because when we think about guarding, and when I think about sharing a testimony, and many times we don't do it because of we're afraid of the attack. We're afraid of the type of attack we may get because of it, the judgment, the rejection, the shame or guilt, people thinking of us a certain way, looking at us a certain way. But I want to talk to you a little bit about guarding your heart. Our hearts have to be guarded in order for us to live a fulfilled life, in order for us to be healed and enlightened, for us to be authentic and revitalized, and for our lives to transform. The only way to do that is making sure that your heart is in the right place. That's why I'm a heart coach. That's why I focus on matters of the heart, because the Lord tells us, the Bible tells us that God judges us by the quality of our hearts. Our heart is also interchangeably used. People say your soul, and we as humans are three parts. We are spirit, soul, or heart, and body. Well, we know our physical body. Our spirit is what enables us to live. If you've ever been to a funeral, you've seen a person, you've seen a body absent of a spirit. You saw the body there, but there's no spirit. So that person is no longer there. The spirit and the soul make us who we are, but the soul, your heart, is what makes you you. Your heart includes your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, your fears, your joys, your prejudices, your favorite food, your favorite place to be, the quirkiness about you, the music you like, all of that is embodied in your heart. And the Bible tells us that we are to guard our hearts because out of it, everything flows. Everything flows out of our hearts. That's Proverbs 4:23. And I talked about testimony. I want to talk about guarding your heart because a lot of times we don't share our testimonies because of fear. And I want you to know that when you guard your heart, or when you start to love yourself, when you allow this heart process to take place, when you start healing and being enlightened, you're going to find that you have to be more willing to share of yourself as you grow and learn, but it's a different way of sharing. It's a different way of interacting with others. You're getting to know yourself better, and as you do that, you're going to grow, and you're going to find yourself in situations where, in order for you to guard your heart, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone, do things you don't normally do, say things you don't normally say, and it's actually guarding your heart, even though it could be uncomfortable at times. Just like sharing a testimony, when you're telling people about who you are and what you've been through, it can be very uncomfortable at times, because let's be honest, people are not always very open and accepting of the truth. The truth sets us free, but it also hurts. And when people are hurting, a lot of times they would rather stay in bondage than to be set free. I want to encourage you. So let's look at the definition of guard. Guard is defined as this is the noun form, a person who keeps watch, especially a soldier or other person formally assigned to protect a person or to control access to a place. Okay? A person who keeps watch, especially a soldier formally assigned to protect a person or to control access to a place, a guard. Here's another one, a device worn or fitted to prevent injury or damage. Guard. Let's look at another definition of guard. I want you to get this. One assigned to protect or oversee another. Let's look at it. The act or duty of protecting. So guard your heart. Many times in life, we are looking for other people to guard and protect us. And that goes back to our inspirational quote of the day when it says, when someone truly cares, his or her actions speak louder than words. The problem is sometimes people really do care and their actions do speak louder than words. But if you're not speaking their language and you don't understand them and you're not clear of their location, you don't know about their testimony, they can be caring about you. But because you have not guarded your heart, their care can come across as cynicism, as they're negative, or they're not supporting you. They're not there the way you would need for them to be there. This is why you have to do this hard work. This is why I'm here Monday through Friday. You have to get to a space where you understand you are responsible for guarding your heart. You are responsible for loving yourself and believing in yourself and supporting yourself and investing in yourself. And you're responsible for doing that prior to anyone else doing it. You're responsible for doing it regardless of if anyone else is doing it. That's how you begin to guard your heart. Guarding your heart does not mean isolate yourself from other people, start to shut down. If someone hurt you, or if you're thinking they may hurt you, then you start to retreat. You start to run away. Or I don't know if I should go on a date with him because he reminds me of my ex and my ex hurt me. Things like that. That's that's not always the healthy way to guard your heart. Many times we build walls when we need to be building gates or fences, meaning they can move, the access can be changed around. You have to understand that you were not supposed to protect yourself. The Lord will do that, but you have to allow yourself to be protected. It's like this, guard your heart. Think about it like this. If you were in some type of protective custody, and people were out to get you, and you needed to be protected, and they're guarding you, they can only guard you if you agree to be guarded. If you decide you want to live your life on your terms and you want to be in your own location and you want to do your own thing, that's fine. But now you're moving yourself out from under the protection of the guard that's been assigned to you. But when you think about guarding your heart, understand that it does not mean you keep yourself to yourself. It does not mean you isolate from everybody else, but it means that you submit to a way of being. It means that you submit to a way of thinking that may be different from what you're used to. It may be uncomfortable. It may be it just tests you in ways that you don't like to be tested. That's all a part of your growing. That's all a part of your healing. That's all a part of you being connected to your purpose and living your life to your fullest potential. We have to start taking responsibility for ourselves. We have to start taking responsibility for our own peace. We have to take responsibility for our own fulfillment and our own success. And yes, we can point out places where people were wronged, that have wronged us, or maybe someone has dropped the ball or someone has not done something that they're supposed to do. But what I want to encourage you with today is that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. Yeah, they hurt you. Yeah, they did all of those things, and you were guarding your heart. You thought up until this point, but you couldn't figure out why you still hurt. Why are you still frustrated? Why are you still angry? It's because you're not properly guarding. You built walls when you were supposed to build gates that could move and allow things in and out. You isolated yourself. You shut yourself off, and you thought, I guarded myself. No, you built a barrier that is impermeable. Nobody can get through. And you wonder why you're so lonely and empty, but you're always around people. You have to open up. And I can tell you this from my own. I'm gonna share my testimony a little bit. I realized how guarded I was with some situations in my life here recently. I had put up barriers. I was trying to protect myself. And what happened was I justified and said, well, I'm guarding my heart. I'm protecting myself. But no, I was actually hiding behind pride. I was trying to protect myself from being hurt. I was trying to protect myself from feeling certain pains. No, mm-mm. It's unique to each one of us. How you guard your heart is just as different as how you brush your teeth or how you may get dressed versus how I get dressed. So it's different for each and every one of us. That's why we have to have an individual relationship with Christ so that we can know what God in our hearts look like, so that we can be comfortable with our testimony and we can understand our love languages and the love languages of those around us so that we can live our lives fulfilled. I'm tired of just existing. I'm tired of being around people who have succumbed and submitted to this whole idea that, you know, life is all it's going to be. It's never going to be any better than this. I'm tired of people who thinking like that. And I know who's guarding. You can tell who's guarding their hearts because when you're guarding your heart, you want to be happy. You want to be fulfilled. And you go out of your way to find it. So I want to encourage you, guard your heart. As you guard your heart, you find that your testimony will be a great tool to help you do that. It's almost like a weapon to protect you and to help you rise up, to help you get to the place in life that you need to be. Because you can. And you're like, I can't do that, Adelaide. I can't do that. Yes, you can. You know how I know you can? Because of Philippians 4:13, it says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You can do it. Guard your heart. Think about it. This has been Heart Talk with your heart coach, Adelai Brown, right here on kinetichi You can check out this Heart Talk on our YouTube page at The Heart Connections. And you can also get your copy of my new book. Pre-order it now at theheartconnections.com, theheartconnections.com. And we're talking about all of this guarding your heart and your testimony. What am I saying? I want you to rise up. I want you to allow your greatness to show through you. Let Andra Day help you with that. Rise up right here with Heart Connections and your heart coach, Adelai Brown. We'll be back with more. Make sure you stick around. KineticHiFi.com.